It's Open House Thursday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, have the ladies with me. Alaja Nima Akasha Zabiri in the building.
I can't I'm you.
How you doing?
I'm fine. No, I want to plead with the Ministry of Transport. I think it's their call. So there's a spot in front of Signal Barracks. The BRT that divides the BRT lane from the main lane in the middle of the Badagry Expressway inwards Orile, Igomu. And that spot is just, you know, that divider, that block.
Yeah.
Every time there's an accident, cars don't see it. Especially those traveling my time. They don't see it. You just find a car would have traveled and gotten stuck. This morning, one was just parking. It was a Ford SUV sparking, and I was like, that did you not see it? But then I now remember that in all those areas in town, you will see this, their yellow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they could put something there that will indicate reflectors. Yeah.
Reflectors. It's
so
very
that
simple. So that
yes, because people drive at night for a lot of reasons.
There's no street lights.
I wanted to blame the person, but I now thought, but you drive at night. You've just been lucky all these years. So they need to put something there, and I know that the Ministry of Transport in Lagos can deal with it immediately. Lamata, they also you will see it just by the rails. It's very close. The car, if the boys did not finish that guy this morning, because they quickly did like they were going to help him, but it was not a safe thing to do. Please,
TMO. Let me start trying to use colleagues. I said go to top C. I go to top A. But if you don't call you TMO, I think you're the one that is left calling top A.
And
top C,
at the end of the day, it's relationship. It's like my friends call me this, my fans call me this, my children call me this, whichever way. Know yourself. Yeah. That's the one that is most important. So, yesterday I had an amazing time. I moderated the panel in my church.
Nice.
Every last Wednesday of the month, we do like a panel concerning the theme of the month where, because on Sundays and Wednesdays, the pastor is teaching. You can't raise your hand and ask questions. Yeah. So on the last Wednesday of the month, it is the time for you to ask questions. And then they bring a few people that are within whatever field of interest they're talking about. So this month we're talking about doing business in my church. And so they brought a few business people and I was to moderate and also join the conversation. And it was such interesting conversation that we got to have, especially trying to do business the Christian way in Nigeria and the challenges you would face trying to be having your integrity, doing things excellently, dealing with incompetence, with staffing and all of that. It was a very, very interesting conversation, and I realized that many people the questions reflected lack of knowledge, not a spiritual problem. So what I would say if you call yourself a Christian or you call yourself a religious person, don't just think it is God that will solve your business problems. Go to school, read a book, get knowledge, and then pray with that. You need the combination to succeed.
Lady in pink.
Yes, so baby girl.
I just love the way pink looks. I'm falling in love
very
with
soft.
Honestly,
this pink color I always get anytime I wear.
Pink. You get compliments.
I love my hair as well, Nima.
Yeah.
I'm doing well. It's just that the weather is so cold. I don't even understand.
Yes, it is.
Like my kids, they put on the AC. They use AC, they use fan. And then me, anytime, you know, I'll put off the AC, I'll put off the fan, and I've been feeling like maybe there's something wrong with me. They are back holiday, or enjoy yourself, and I'm like, but the problem is that me, I'm feeling cold, and they are not, and I'm like, is something wrong with me?
No. You're all right. You're all right.
Cold, you know.
It's cold.
I know,
it's actually very cold.
It's really cold.
Grandma's been very under the weather too. A lot of
the weather is
really
cold.
It's quite unusual.
Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm well. You know, yes, Anima was tongue lashing me today because I've been stressing my hand. I have a sling. I don't wear it. I have a back brace. I don't wear it. And it's just because I find it very uncomfortable. You know, but I think I will because I do feel people. But I also understand that the hospital didn't give me pain for more than 7 days because they didn't
because of the brand that you're using.
You
can't use more than 7 days. Yeah.
Yes, so you don't get used to it. So now I have to live with the pain, but it's okay.
Live with it, Bao.
Rest.
I need to rest. Yeah, I rest today.
You want to like a two-piece orange box?
I love. Thanks for reminding me, Leah. Direct. Thank you so much. She got my birthday gift.
Oh, this
Leah,
is so
thank
cool.
you so much. I mean, he knows exactly what I like. I love it. In fact, I'm going to remove it and give it to my tailor, copy and paste. Exactly back to back. I love it. Thank you so much, Leah, for sending this to me. It's Thursday, our gist day. But first, We have to go through the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with The Nation. There's no story on the front page, except for the fact that Tinubu's performance impressive in key areas, says North's leaders. And inside story, Tokwe has the inside story. So who has a story? Let me pick one story. You have one? Go ahead.
The nurses, yes. It's just that small red strip. Strip.
Oh, where is it? Oh, nurses strike grounds hospital in the States. Yeah.
In fact, this article cuts across all the country. They do the report of all the nurses, general hospitals and school of nursing everywhere, you know, captured what is happening right now. So the nurses are on day 3, I think, of their strike. They've joined the strike. And if you go across everywhere, the Gondo General Hospital, all of those places, you will not see any activity. Their demands, of course, are that, you know, let me quickly capture it. They are asking for creation of a department for nursing in the Federal Ministry of Health that will take care of them. Shift duty allowances for nurses at 30% consolidated. 20% specialist allowance. Are nurses specialists?
They are specialized ones.
Yes. Upward, yes, they are. They are. Upward review of uniform allowances of 300,000 naira per annum. Constitution of the Governing Board of the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria. Constitution of the Board of Federal Health Institutions to reflect their fair representation of nurses. They have plenty, but let me just stop at there because the next paragraph and next 3 paragraphs, you find other demands that they're asking. And we still have the NMA also joining this strike. This means that when you go to the general hospital now, it's unlikely that you get attended to. This is where we can find affordable health, not necessarily so affordable, but, you know. I have a relative presently in a general hospital due for surgery this weekend. So as I'm reading this news, I'm not happy with anybody right now. Not happy at all.
Okay, let me take the UBEC because I'm quite interested in these UBEC funds. So the Minister of State for Education, Dr. Suwaiba Ahmad, has said that the guidelines for accessing intervention funds from the UBEC, that's the Universal Basic Education Fund, are currently being reviewed to make it more flexible. If you recall, we took a story, I think, last week, where UBEC had accused state government for not accessing the available 250 billion naira funds in the commission. According to the commission, the states retain the funds instead of utilizing the resources to develop their basic education in their states. But yesterday, the minister noted that going forward, the disbursement of funds to the state government will be tied to performance metrics. She added that this is to ensure quality control and value for money. UBEC's executive secretary accused the states of the infraction at the 3-day financial management training they had in Abuja yesterday. The most common issue they had with the UBEC fund was the failure of states to provide the counterpart funding to enable them access the funds. So many of them were supposed to have something to match up, but unfortunately they couldn't, so they couldn't access the funds. But now she's thinking of ways to make it more flexible such that these states can access the funds. However, there'll be proper guidelines given to ensure that they indeed comply with what is provided so that they can access the funds. I don't know why it's being more flexible because it's really, well, maybe it's necessary. We have to customizes solutions for states individually. Because Lagos State and a few other states are able to access it because they have the revenue, they have the funds, but others can't. So I'm happy about the flexibility.
Okay, so I have the story of, they said there's going to be a digital fair in Lagos, and they said that it's going to be in August, and Lagos State is the one hosting it. It's going to be a 3-day event that is aimed at empowering the next digital talent in Africa. They said there's going to be a tech guru. Her name is Tutu Adetumbi. She said it's a response to the demand for skill building, visibility, and economic inclusion in Africa's fast-evolving digital landscape. They said people who can attend are students, freelancers, and professionals. They are all expected to take part in it. And they are also saying that it's going to be a 3-day event. They said the first day will center on young talents, that's 18 to 24 years. They are going to be equipping them with foundational digital skills, career guidance, and access to job and internship opportunities. And then on the second day, they are going to shift it to freelancers. That's entrepreneurs, that's the early stage entrepreneurs, and then offering insight into business development, pricing, and client acquisition to help them grow. While the last stage is going to involve the professionals. That's the people who own businesses for over 30 years. But I was trying to look for the specific date, but no date. But it's going happening this August.
Okay, congratulations.
If you're interested.
Yeah. So yes, I'm taking the FCCPC story where they have warned traders in Lagos against price inflation and substandard goods. So the commission's executive vice chairman and chief executive officer Tuji Bello gave this warning. It was in the markets, and they said the market organized engagement forum by the commission in Lagos, and he was representing the FCCPC's principals consumer, and it was represented by Mrs. Bridget Etim. They spoke about the fact that they've noticed that some products in Lagos are inflated, that the artificial price inflation, and so they are warning against it, and they also are emphasizing the importance of safety of goods that are being sold. The News Agency of Nigeria reports that there's an intensified engagement by FCCPC going to major markets. You know, sometimes we don't know what they are doing and we complain that they're not doing anything, but FCCPC is not just, before they will now clamp down on some markets and it will be seen at like you are clamping down without warning. They have actually been going to different markets. They were at Mile 12, they've been to Alaba international markets, and they are going to other prominent markets to explain to them, don't inflate your products beyond standard price and ensure that you are selling good quality products. They want to maintain ethical standard and ethical practices, and they're educating ahead of punishment. So if you are not in those engagements, get informed about the FCCPC so that you don't fall under the law. Okay,
The Nation, FGI 796. Punch. Oh, punch.
Sorry, you need your rest.
FGI's 796 billion naira annually from 5% petrol surcharge. Port Harcourt refinery not for sale, says NNPC. Varsity students to face drug tests, says Education Minister. Gunmen stab Ogun businessman to death. Abiodun welcomes ex-PDP chair, others to Ogun APC. Kings must respect ancestral burial rights or quit the throne, says Wande Abimbola. Patients grown as nurses strike grounds hospital nationwide. And UTME fraud. JAM prosecuted 110 in 5 years. Let's take one story for the break.
Okay, so quickly, the Minister for Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, has agreed with the chairman and the chief executive of the Nigerian Drug Law Enforcement Agency that students in our tertiary institutions should start to do random drug integrity tests. So this was announced by the spokesperson for the NDLEA, Femi Babafemi, who says that this will be a three-pronged approach. They will be looking at revising drug education content in schools. They will be introducing stand-alone drug abuse prevention programs in secondary schools and implementing a drug testing policy for tertiary institutions, including new students and returning students and random testing. And the minister is completely in agreement. And so I hope that this would reduce it. They also gave details of all their other wins, how they've arrested and charged and tried other criminal offenders.
Okay, let's go on a very short break. When we come back, we'll look at the front pages of the other part of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Your view will be right back.
Imagine a country with over 320 plenty languages. Why you go the only focus on Yoruba, Hausa and Igbo? Where we get a common language where they unite everybody from Oga to even Madam self and every person wey dey for street. That's now why we dey introduce to 89.9 Yanga FM, the #1 urban pidgin radio station where they unite us all. From the award-winning breakfast show Waiting Day with your brother, your friend Wale Po.
Everywhere so Bobo.
This na Cruise Express.
And this go be the best 4 hours of our life. Country people, make una join us.
Aww.
Now we be What's Up Naija crew. Now we they give you what they sup for inside we country.
Yes, so
keep it loud. If God be your papa, why you not gonna make Yanga?
how do I holla?
Now here we dey settle all the matter.
Bro, you right here.
Nobody better than we, right?
Okay, now whispers be that. Make I just be the last sensible voice where you go hear.
Now we be 89.9 Yanga FM.
Breaking news isn't just about speed, but more importantly, about fact and accuracy. It is responsible journalism, being ahead, unbiased, sensitive, in telling the stories that people would want to hear in a way that protects their sanity and for the public good. And it goes beyond breaking the news to actually following up, exploring all the angles, engaging newsmakers, tracking impact, all geared towards informing, educating, and setting agenda for the people. Breaking news is holistic, entire, complete. It's about you, me, and the world we live in. Breaking news is at the core of what we do at TVC News, and it's the honor of my life to serve you this news, fresh off the press.
TVC News, first with breaking news.
Good morning.
I'm Miriam Lunge.
I'm Nifemi Oguntoye, news anchor with TVC News.
My day is usually busy and it's difficult keeping up with breaking news.
Thanks for staying with us. Still reviewing Punch. Yes.
Okay, so Port Harcourt refinery is not for sale.
Okay.
And in fact, its intention, that's the NNPC chairman, that's in person of Ojulari Bashir. He said that, in fact, they have intention to raise additional funding to complete the rehabilitation of the Port Harcourt refinery. Refining company.
Please,
Other two refineries.
Sorry. I thought I had a brainwave. Were we not on this table when, what was that guy's name, the yellow boy, Ajuri, told us that Port Harcourt refinery is 100% sure that will start running?
Even the former group JMD was so shocked that, it work. And
now I'm hearing
the one that's explaining me is that Trade Union Congress were the ones who went to visit it. That one that Jalga.
Yes, God bless you. Remember that.
No, they did. How much did the refinery even make last year?
Nothing. And again, they've even secured 16 trillion. As we speak now, they have approved 16 trillion for the rehabilitation of the Port Harcourt, Kaduna, and Warri refineries. And yesterday, I read in the papers, they have called him to talk about 210 trillion that has gone missing. And he's saying that it's not missing and it has not been stolen. But he will set up a committee
to find it.
Let's keep watching.
Okay, another story.
Okay. Yes, there's a challenge there's been a real estate land tussle in Egbin area of Ikorodu State, and now they've had to involve the Lagos State House of Assembly, and the House of Assembly has adopted the motion that was, they've adopted the recommendation by the Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights, Public Petition, and LASEIC's recommendation that the Royal Majesty Oba Aderiyomi Akim Ayebo for the unlawful trespass on the land of Prince Yusuf Obateru family land. The resolution was reached at the plenary session yesterday, presided over by the Speaker, Mudashiru Obasa, and they presented the report. The chairman of the committee stated that the committee has emphasized the importance of embracing peace and respecting established traditional authorities. Investigations revealed that there is still need for Prince Moshood Obateru to immediately cease all allegations and petitions to the traditional ruler. This, when it comes to real estate matter, it's a bit shocking that this is the third case I know that they had to take to the House of Assembly to get resolved. Why are we taking real estate cases all to that point? Why don't we have a ministry in the land that's supposed to solve issues of land grabbers and conflict? But I realize that the issues, for it to be truly resolved, they need to take it to the House of Assembly. I don't think it is the right way. We should create systems that is efficient, that you will not need to be going to...
It's sufficient that there are court systems.
Okay, let me take the kings must respect ancestral burial rights or quit throne. This was said by the former Vice Chancellor of the Bafemi Awolowo University, Professor Wande Abimbola, was speaking yesterday, I think during an interview, where he said that the Agemo, which is a major Orisha of Ijebu, was virtually non-existent during the reign of the former Awujale. He said that he didn't hide his preference for Islam over and above the indigenous ways of life. His burial does not portray us as a people with culture and tradition. When the Queen of England died, they used the English rites of passage for her burial. Same thing happened with the Pope. Same thing happened during Christian burials, and even King of Arab, same thing. They have this. They have the Islamic right that the Jebut traditional culture was not seen or shown during the burial of the Awujale. That he was just advocating that going forward, that if anybody is going to ascend the throne, they must be able to accept the rights of the people. If not, don't bother becoming a king or.
65 years on the throne and progress for Ijebu people that is well noted, that is documented. I don't know.
He's a professor and he's trying
the burial have not happened.
He's also trying.
They are buried him now. You can
sustain
all
culture.
Of that.
The culture.
I agree. I agree.
So
I agree. Just that there's a thin line. He's been buried, and then there's still burial because we know Africans we don't even bury there, immediately. He's rested.
Okay, Vanguard. The oracle has spoken. Vanguard. Operating Bodaka refinery ahead of full turnaround, ill-informed NNPC. Nigeria was heading for 12 trillion naira subsidy debt, says PCNGI. Presidency ex-ADC Chair Baker over alleged ministerial bribe offer. Mixed reactions trail INEC's verdict on local government polls. IDP's protest in Benue block Makurdi-Lafia Road. Okay, which story?
Let me take PCNGI. So our friend of the house, who is the CEO and coordinator of the PCNGI, that's the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative, Michael Oluwagemi, was speaking at a stakeholders engagement, and he says that before President Bola Tinubu finally removed subsidy, Nigeria was heading towards a 12 trillion naira fuel subsidy bill for 2023, and that even though the Petroleum Industry Act had outlawed fuel subsidy payment, the unbudgeted subsidy paid for that year was 5.5 trillion. And if we have continued to do this business of borrowing funds for consumption, it was fiscally reckless and economical suicide for us to continue on that path. Then he went on to laud our richness in gas reserves. Our natural gas reserve says it's proven to be about 208 trillion cubic feet here, and we have these alternatives, and that the government has taken a lot of it. When I see the videos of students applauding the administration for payment of student loan,
yes,
under the student loan, I wonder why the people that are queuing and causing traffic at the CNG gas stations are not doing the same. If you see the queue, I have one CNG car. We wait endlessly. Try and buy gas in these stations.
Are you serious?
On the Sunday. So if you want to buy early, we target 6 a.m. to be able to get out of there on time.
Which one of your car is CNG?
I
didn't know that Michael didn't come through for us. I didn't know he has come through.
I did not know too.
I don't know.
You didn't know.
Some people that Michael is a friend of the house.
Michael.
He's a friend of the house. Which friend?
Nima knows how to get things done.
The same Michael that we'll be talking to that we have not seen.
We have not seen no. Uncle Michael, we're still waiting for our own. Let me take WAFCON. Because the last time I was on the show, we were discussing WAFCON, which is the story from Patience Avere. Patience Avere was a top scorer in the women's national team, Falcon, and she was one of those that was with the team that won the WAFCON 4 times in the past, and she has decried that the previous governments of Nigeria have robbed them of their generation. They played 4 times, won 4 times, and they didn't get anything. He said that she has appealed to the president to pay all monies promised the current squad directly to their account to avoid sore relationships. She's not even saying they should pay them. She's saying all these promises they are making, if you don't pay it into their account directly, it will be gobe, it will enter voicemail, because the promises that they made to them did not come to that. And many of those of our colleagues that won the 4 AFCONs, they are suffering and in penury. She said that she's living in America, but she said my generation was robbed several times by the government and NFF officials. They gave us peanuts as we campaigned, and in the African Women Championship, now WAFCON, we went to the Olympic Games, FIFA Women's World Cup. Promises in the regime of Olusegun Obasanjo were worthless, while some of the NFF officials and coaches sat on the little bonuses and kits. Former NFF president repeatedly asked some of us to send our account details without paying us till date. I feel that it is extremely important for this government, in honor of their services over the years, to go back and investigate if those monies were paid. The House of Rep Oversight Committee on Sports, Youth and Sports should oversee this investigation to be sure where the monies disbursed to NFF and the ministries and the monies were not paid to the players. They must prosecute and pay them back their money, because their generation should not be robbed.
Honestly, that's the problem.
Let me take a story from Makurdi. The Makurdi Lafia Highway was yesterday taken over by hundreds of internally displaced persons housed at the MAGA IDP camps on the outskirts of Makurdi in protest over alleged lack of food and other basic necessities. The angry IDPs who barricaded the highway at the junction leading to the camp held free branches and sang solidarity songs chanting, "We are hungry, we want to go back home." The protest came barely 24 hours after the visit of Nigeria's First Lady to the state, during which she donated ₦1 billion for the upkeep of displaced families in Benue. One of the protesters, who gave her name as Rebecca, explained that they embarked on the protest to draw the government's attention to their plight. "We want to go back home, we are hungry, and we're tired of staying in the camp." So I guess this goes back to what you just said, that it's one thing to donate, but it's another thing for it to actually get to the people. So the people are here crying, saying that they are hungry. So hopefully some of these donations can actually go to the right people as expected. Final paper for this morning. How much time do we have left? The Nigerian Tribune. NNPC rules out sale of Port Harcourt refinery. $245 billion human trafficking scourge threatens Nigeria's security, says AGF. Adeleke deploys 1,750 Imole teachers corps to Osun schools. First Hold Co posts strong earnings growth in H1 2025. Bagudu Tinubu has been faithful to the north. And nurses strike grounds hospital. Any story in Tribune?
Let me quickly just take the Attorney General of the Federation. He was delivering a keynote address at the 28th National Stakeholders Consultative Forum and Summit on Human Trafficking in Abuja. And he mentioned that human trafficking generates, according to the International Labour Organization, a staggering 245 billion annually. And this crime that can, be local, national, or transnational, constitutes threat to persons and their families, communities, and nations across the country. Is asking that there should be a united front against human trafficking, and that people should help in policing this huge crime against humanity.
Okay, I think that's all we can take on Front Page Review this morning. It's Thursday. When we come back, we move on to our hot topic of today. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Morning, Marina Station and all the passengers. Efficient, it's comfortable.
This development will go a long way in reducing congestion and emission.
The trains are a long-term solution to Lagos traffic challenges.
This is where we take the final, decisions on policies, programs of government. I will have to ensure that, the narration of Lagos as a PLC is taken very, very seriously.
This is a major pedestrian bridge linking Oyingo here to Apapa Road over there.
With this overpass, we are providing what we call a permanent solution.
This place is one of the most dangerous areas at the biosecurity environment.
This can go into the news and every crumbs of your neighborhood.
Our goal is to remain as Africa's model megacity, to move our GDP from the 5-6 position to the 3rd position, and we believe it's achievable with all the commitments we have.
Explore the city of Lagos, where dreams are made and possibilities are endless. Amadedoja Salamadini. I live in Lagos, inside Lagos.
I'm Nifemi Oguntoye, news anchor with TVC News.
My day is usually busy and it's difficult keeping up with breaking news stories, trending stories, business news, stock exchange and what have you. But with TVC News on WhatsApp, I'm able to catch up with all the breaking news, real-time updates and trending stories on the go, right on my phone, no matter where I am. It's quick, easy and always on. And here you can join us by scanning the QR code or using the link on our X and Instagram. Why wait? Come to the side of news that keeps you ahead. TVC News, first with breaking news.
I'm Miriam Lunge. I'm a passionate environment advocate and a published author.
I am the founder of Celebration, a businesswoman, and a fashion icon.
I am a wealth coach and a real estate developer.
I am Amako Arakwe. I'm a corporate commercial lawyer and an entrepreneur.
Barkamu da warhaka. I am Ramatu Shehu Oyibo, an entrepreneur and a business coach.
I am the voice of an average Muslim woman, an hijabite, and a lawyer.
I am a polymath and a serial entrepreneur.
I am Murayo Afolabi Brown, Managing Director, TVC Entertainment. I'm a media consultant, producer, and broadcaster.
The ladies of Your View are made of women from different professions, tribes, cultures, and religion. Join us every Monday to Friday as we share our views on topical and social issues.
The TVC News at 7 and the TVC News at 10 are not like any other news broadcast.
It's the big news hour, the hour for the big breaking stories.
We've got some of the best reporters on the field,
taking you through as it happens.
It's fast-paced, perfect,
with investigations that matter.
bringing in news that affects your life.
With sport, entertainment and business, so you don't miss a thing.
Experience resourceful coverage was depth.
Epic.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Thanks for staying with us. So before we go into our Thursday GC, it's important for us to take on this memorable experience of the General Murtala Muhammed. On July 29, 1975, he assumed the leadership of Nigeria through a bloodless coup, marking a pivotal moment in the nation's history. His brief but very impactful tenure, July 1975 to February 1976, is widely remembered for his decisiveness, bold reforms, and a fierce commitment to national progress. In this segment, we will be celebrating the 50th anniversary of General Murtala Muhammed's legacy and Nigeria's anti-corruption fight. Joining us on the studio, from our Abuja studio, is the editor, Nigeria Yearbook, and Who is Who, Ibrahim Ado Kurawa. Welcome to the show, sir.
Yes, good morning. Thank you very much.
Good morning. It's so good to have you joining us this morning. It was important for us to have this conversation for 50 years in celebration and in honor of General Murtala Muhammed. Very short but very impactful tenure in government. And I think one of the key areas that was quite highlighted was his decisiveness towards anti-corruption. What were some of your own view, the general's most significant achievements during his tenure?
Well, as you have said, he was very decisive in his anti-corruption fight, which was universally acknowledged, and he was exemplary because he took decisive decisions, and what happened after his demise testified to his sincerity and patriotism, because he left very minimum property after his death, which was very crucial. Now you have public officers amassing a lot of wealth, land grabbing and what have you, and many other things. But in his own regard, he didn't have anything. And he was very forthright in all his efforts. He established the Public Complaints and Anti-Public Complaints Commission so that people can bring their grievances to the state, which was very rare, and it was the first time. So these actions in area of anti-corruption, in transparency and accountability were new to Nigeria when he brought them.
Let me do a follow-up on that, because if we try to juxtapose his decisiveness to the current president's decision to remove subsidy and all the other bold reforms that he has taken on, a lot of Nigerians have criticized him for doing quite a bit of bold reforms without recourse to the effects of the people. And if we recall also the general during that time, General Murtala Muhammad, his decisiveness, sacking 10,000 civil servants, regardless of their going on their incompetence, their age, without benefits. There was a lot of criticisms during that time too. And people were against the fact that he was able to just get rid of or even totally reform the civil service. So I would like you to look at both scenarios. Do you think our current president's decision to make certain bold reforms could also eventually be appreciated in future, or do you think he could have done it a bit better, just as the general did 50 years ago?
Well, there are two different scenarios which we shouldn't compare in this respect. If you had brought the issue of Murtala's economic reforms, then it's okay, we can compare them. But now we are talking of anti-corruption, and you are bringing President Tinubu's economic reforms. They are quite different. If we are going to compare, maybe if President Bola Tinubu has been as transparent and as accountable as Murtala, they take harsh decisions that really matter. It's what the purpose behind them. And Murtala's economic policies were not as harsh as Bola Tinubu's economic policies, because there are different times. When Murtala became the president, they reviewed the National Development Plan, because the initial development plan was based on import substitution, and they wanted to establish capital industries. So if you are going to bring something in terms of economic policy of Murtala and then economic policy of Bola Tinubu, how do they compare? Is Bola Tinubu now trying to bring profound economic changes? Then that's when we should talk about it. Murtala brought profound anti-corruption measures. Is Bola Tinubu bringing profound anti-corruption measures? That's the only way we can compare.
Let's stay on the anti-corruption measures, sir. So let's stay on them. Let's stay on the anti-corruption measures. You'd expect that such a huge measure in purging the civil service of certain miscreants, if you allow my language, would change the way we see corruption. But 50 years on, we are still where we are. We still criticize ourselves to be corrupt. Do you think that his methods were really productive? My point is that would it have been better if he was oriented, changing the orientation of the people as opposed to just getting rid of the people? Did he need to change the mindset or build the mindset of the younger generation so that we don't have a repetition of these issues after 50 years?
That's what I told you. Murtala was exemplary. When he came, the previous government was full of pomp and pageantry, but he decided to live a simple life so that he can show people that he can live such life without aggrandizing public wealth. So in terms of whether it was continued or not, that's not his own making, because the people that succeeded him, they tried their best, but unfortunately they derailed. So you cannot hold him responsible for his for their actions. What he did, he was exemplary, which is very important. Now you have leaders that cannot even stay in Nigeria for their medical treatment. You have leaders that spend a lot of money on personal life, which Murtala never did. He didn't even have a convoy. He was living like a common person, which is part of orientation. And if that had continued, we will not be where we are. But they said, okay, they cannot sacrifice, because his life was based on sacrifice. And theirs is not about sacrifice. Theirs is about comfort. So we cannot blame him for sacrificing his life, for sacrificing what he has, and then the subsequent generation decided to be comfortable with their positions and offices. So it's quite different. I'm not trying to be polemical, but it's a very clear issue. If the people in power can be as exemplary as Murtala, I think Nigeria will not have been where it is. And previously, even before Murtala came, what Tafawa Balewa and their generation were doing was quite different. They were not like those that succeeded them. So you see, it's not somebody's fault if your successors didn't do well. And at least he tried to establish the institutions that will bring about his ideas. One of his most important legacies is the presidential constitution, which the sole purpose is to unite the country, to have one Nigeria, which is more important for us to regard ourselves as citizens, not as people that represent ethnic groups, which is very crucial in our body fabric and our political development.
Thank you
so
it's
not just window dressing, saying that you are this.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, sir. So I feel like I didn't know much about this particular history. That's the honest truth. And I'm happy that we are using this platform to educate Nigerians, especially because I'm 40. He had gone before I was even born. So the only thing I know about General Murtala Muhammed is that when I go to the airport, his name is there. And I would like you to share what we can do. How can we apply the lessons from General Muhammad's leadership, the sacrifices he made? How do we raise that legacy and make it contemporary and make it worthy of emulation in the world we're living in today, where there is obvious gap? Can you share some ideas with us, sir?
Yes, well, I think what we need to is to hold our leaders accountable. We must insist that they have to sacrifice. We must insist that life should not continue as usual. If somebody says, I'm going to bring about change in the economy of the country, then we hold him. What have you done? You have spent 1 year, 2 years, 4 years. What have you done? If we cannot hold them accountable, then we will not be able to progress in any way, since they are not willing, most of them, to sacrifice as Murtala has sacrificed. So the most important thing we should do as citizens, because that's what is important in democracy, to hold leaders accountable. Once this accountability, once this, oversight is not there, then we will not have anything. If the institutions of the state are compromised, the executive already is the leader, and then it compromises the the legislature, it compromises the judiciary, then you will not have a democracy. You are just going to have anarchy. We as citizens, we have to rise up and say, no, enough is enough. Not as people from different tribes and what have you. That's what is holding us back in this country. And Murtala was like that. He was a Nigerian and he worked for Nigeria. So we must hold our leaders accountable and tell them that, no, we want you to be Nigerians and work for the common man. But if we just allow them to be manipulating us, then we are not going anywhere.
Yeah, okay, so when I was reading his story, there was something that caught my attention. I know that if he had stayed long, most of our children will have their mother's names in their this thing, because his mother's name is part of his name. And guess what his mother's name is?
What? Your name.
Yeah. So so he created states. The reason why he created states was to solve certain problems in Nigeria. Do you think right now the states that he created, do you think that they can stand on, they are performing like the way he expected the states to perform? Are they doing the way he wanted them to perform? And the reason why he created them, do you think is happening just the way the policies and everything, are they going the way he wanted them to go?
Well, you see, the reasons for creating states has been there since before the First Republic. The Wilk Commission, which was established on the issue of minority rights. So these agitations continued even after the creation of 12 states. We had 4 during the civilian era in the First Republic, 4 regions. So these 4 regions were made into 12 states. But these agitations continued. So the only way that it could be to bring about peace and progress in the country is to accommodate some of those agitations, at least the ones that were genuine. So Murtala tried, he did what he could, and 7 states were created. Some of them have been very big, and they have also been divided again into other states. Like, for example, Gombe, Bauchi is now Gombe and Bauchi. Borno is now Borno and Yobe. Gongola is now Adamawa and Taraba, and Ondo is Ikiti and Ondo. Ogun is still there. Oyo is Oyo and Oshun. So something like that. It continues. People still continue to agitate.
Right.
But the only way that we can resolve this problem is to have citizens, not people who are just regional or are just static in their own thinking.
Right.
And then we have to bring about economic reforms that will make the government more accountable. The government allow the private sector to thrive, not what we are having now, with so many policies that are inconsistent with development. So that's the only way that states can be what they are. But federations all over the world have different ways of managing their diversities.
Let me talk about his bold foreign policy. He was quite assertive and focused on strengthening Nigeria's leadership across Africa. You know, in your view, do you think Nigeria still holds that leadership role, where we are liberating other African countries from the shackles of colonialism?
Yes, Murtala's famous speech, Africa has come of age, when he decided to support Namibia, Angola, South Africa, so that they could be free. It was one of the most bold decisions in the history of Africa. And over time, Nigeria contributed a lot. We contributed in ECOMOG, we have been contributing in ECOWAS, and many others. After him, Nigeria continued the struggle to help emancipate South Africa and Zimbabwe. So at least what he started was quite great, because one of the reasons why they shut him down was because of his Afrocentric policy. He never considered the Europeans as, or Europe as the centerpiece of our foreign policy, and which was very, very radical and dramatic. If that had continued, at least Africa will not be where it is. And one of our major problems is the inability of the African continent to forge ahead, to have integration and economic development, because we are not united. So they keep on exploiting us. The Europeans have exploited us for 500 years, and unfortunately now we may go into the hand of the Chinese. So, and it's all over Africa. If Africa cannot find its ways out, then we'll have problem. Before the coming of the Europeans, we are better than where we are. For example, in Kano, we are producing 10 million sandals a year. Now we don't do anything. and our leaders are not doing anything because they don't have the vision. So it's very critical. We have to educate the young generation to inform them that these things are possible. Without Mullah, maybe Africa might not have been
Let me get in one question for you. Go ahead.
You know, he had laudable visions, and I think documenting it would have been nice at the time. So like it's a master plan that subsequent governments would have followed. But my colleague had said that, you know, most of us were young children at the time that he held office, and we also were not even born. You know, and so we don't have a full grasp of what he really achieved or what he did. Can you, aside his anti-corruption, you know, drive and the foreign policy, can you highlight most of his successful achievement that he had while in office?
Well, you know, Murtala spent just 200 days, which has been remarkable in Nigeria. Nobody has done that. He created 7 states within that time. He took the decision of the Federal Capital Territory, and most importantly, the presidential constitution. So these are very critical in terms of political re-engineering of the country. He was focused on this, on the unity of the country, because what Nigeria suffered from has been the issue of this lack of unity of purpose, people viewing themselves as citizens, which is very, very critical. And he did it within 200 days. Everyone appreciated. And then in terms of governance, he was exemplary. So somebody to achieve something for 200 days, and others will spend almost a decade ruling, you cannot compare them. You cannot talk of infrastructure in 200 days. You cannot talk of even what have you. But he brought policies in education that established more universities. He brought policies in economic development, decongesting the ports, which was very critical. Immediately after he assumed power, he established a task force under Colonel Shehu Eradua that decongested the ports. There were several ships bringing cement and what have you. And in terms of his industrial policies, he was thinking inward, how do you develop the capital industries, which was very critical. But you cannot do all these things in 200 days. You can take decisions, policy decisions, which were very critical, and they have. You can imagine his most important policy decision has not been still there in Nigeria. It has shaped Nigeria's politics. So that alone is a major achievement in 200 days. It takes people more than that to even decide. You can see some people will not even form their cabinets. It will take them 100 days to form a cabinet. But Murtala was able to take far-reaching decisions that have shaped the country in 200 days.
I know you've tried to answer this question. We have to run up, unfortunately. But thank you so much, sir, for coming this morning to remind Nigerians of the legacy of the General Murtala Muhammed 50 years on. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. I'm really grateful.
All right, let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll move on to our Thursday topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Good morning, Marina Station and all the passengers. Efficient, it's comfortable.
This development will go a long way in reducing congestion and emission.
The trains are a long-term solution to Lagos traffic challenges.
This is where we take the final, decisions on policies, programs of government. I will have to ensure that, the narration of Lagos as a PLC is taken very, very seriously.
This is a major pedestrian bridge linking Oyingo here to Apapa Road over there.
With this overpass, we are providing what we call permanent solutions.
This place is one of the most dangerous areas at the biosecurity environment.
This can go into the news and every crumbs of your neighborhood.
Our goal is to remain as Africa's model megacity, to move our GDP from the 5-6 position to the 3rd position, and we believe is achievable with all the commitments we have.
Explore the city of Lagos, where dreams are made and possibilities are endless. Amade Doja Salam Adeniyi, I live in Lagos. Inside Lagos.
Hey, my people, I greet you plenty.
My name na Chika Okeke.
My name na Uwi Balogun.
My name na Damilola Banire. My name na Moyo Faraway Ahmed. If you also call me Moyo, listen.
And this na Abigail. And I dare on top of you, pigeon. I'm gonna bring you bass, boost.
I don't get person will be single mother before. He carry another man show say now my husband be this.
After
that day, the man
you no go see him again. If you snooze, you lose. If you miss this show, you miss out. On top this our show, I not dey gree for anybody. When you dey find the husband, you not see sign say the guy is multi, you don't vex, don't give signs.
If they look for person we go give them to you, fact as he be.
Men no they ever get fault for her.
Now the woman.
Talk no dey be person, you make person no fit talk true inside.
But for this country, we not say if we open curtain in the morning, waiting no good, no good.
Me and my sisters, hey, we go tanda gidigba for inside studio to give una all the latest information.
But look, we not even take responsibility for the children.
Leave the man.
And that's some poria.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Get ready to step into the heartbeat of your city like never before. Welcome to Events Diary, where every moment is a celebration. From the electric energy of Owambe extravaganza, to the richness of our culture, to the sophistication of corporate gatherings, Events Diary is your VIP pass to the hottest gatherings in Nigeria. And guess what? I'll be your guide, your style icon. Each week, join me as I transform from traditional chic to corporate sleek. Whether it's a birthday bash or a high-profile gala, you won't just see it. You'll feel like you're right there with me. Aww. From meetings to evening soirees, I'll be there. Or to the trendiest street festivals or to music concerts, Events Diary has something for everyone. So join me as we explore the vibrant tapestry of Nigerian scene, one event at a time.
Thanks for staying with us. So it's Thursday. On Thursdays, we discuss family life issues. And whenever we have funny life issues, we have to bring in some people that we know that they just know better than us. So today, join us this morning is the chairman of the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, PFN Lagos chapter, and the founding pastor of Global Impact Ministries, Pastor Yemi Davis. With his extensive experience in leadership and ministry, Pastor Yemi has been a voice of inspiration and guidance to millions. We'll be having a comprehensive conversation with him, covering topics such as state of the nation, societal ills, marriage, relationships, youth issues, religion, the whole works. We're excited to tap into his wealth of knowledge and insight. Welcome with us, Pastor Yemi Davis in the building.
Welcome
to the show. Good to have you.
Thanks for having me this beautiful Thursday morning. Yeah.
So there's so much we want to talk to you about, but I think we'll take it in stages because yesterday was International Friendship Day. Okay. So I think we can start with the issue of friendship because friendship as regards because a lot of people have friends who they're growing together.
Yeah.
But there's always that problem of competition.
Yeah.
There's always that issue of, am I catching up with my friends? Or am I doing enough? Or can I trust them? Because sometimes you just feel like life is moving, especially when you get to that midlife.
Oh, yes.
You know,
oh,
when
yes.
you're 30s, everybody's focused on their children, raising children. But when this midlife, you're now reviewing, okay, how far? I'm almost halfway through life. Have I achieved? And you now start looking at your friends. Ramato has gotten this. That one has gotten. Where am I? That burden is real when you get to your 40s and your mid-40s. I'd like you to help us navigate. Like, how can we begin to understand where we are and find peace where we are?
Yeah, thanks for having me. A beautiful day. Well, friendship, I've been blessed with good friends, and I think your mindset would help a lot with maintaining good friendship, on understanding your own purpose. It's just like the hand is different from the legs. So you're different from your friend. Yes, they inspire you, they encourage you, but you also know that assignments are different. So when you're evaluating, you have that healthy way of evaluating it. That, okay, this person is moving on in this dimension. How does that interpret or how does that, how do I express that based on my own assignment? The challenge comes when the hand wants to do the work of the legs. That's when you're not beginning to have unholy competition. And there's somebody who always fall behind because the hand cannot do the work of the legs. So to be a good friend, you need to understand who you are first, and then understand people, understand that we're different. I mean, many of us know Pastor Godman Akinlabi. We've been friends from university days. We're different. Maybe I'm a bit extroverted. He's a bit calmer. So I understand, and then his assignment, even in ministry, is not the same as mine. So I am inspired by him. He also inspires me. So that way, it's healthy. And believe me, I think God would want us to have such relationships. I realize that people focus more on marital relationships when it comes to relationships. But there's a place for friendship. For instance, as a friend, there are certain things we can discuss that I'm not able to talk to my wife about. In that sense, because man to man. Wow. In that sense, oh yes.
Wasn't it you pastor that told us that you shouldn't hide anything from our spouses?
At least I'm hiding. I'm saying something.
But running it through.
Running it through him, which will help the marriage. For instance, if I have issues with my wife, and maybe something's bothering me, even when I'm tempted as a pastor, when somebody is tempting me, you do.
So you get tempted.
Oh yes, The higher you go, the more.
Really? I would like to revisit that, but let us stay on friendship. Let me write it down so I don't forget.
So I like that you mentioned the importance of these relationships as opposed to, when we got to the age of marriage, we all looked forward to marriage because marriage seemed to be the ultimate relationship you needed. But we had the parents' relationship, we had various other relationships. This morning, I have not spoken to my grandma since 2023. Wow. Just send messages. Tell grandma I'm seeing her. Last night, I couldn't sleep for whatever reason. She's the eldest in the village, and so but when they call you, is that when you will now, So I called her, and I loved the conversation. It really helped me. The fact that, somebody can still call me my pet names and all of that. And those are some of our relationships. They fix us in different spaces in our lives. I want you to highlight how important it is, particularly because you talked about friendships. We have friends.
Of course.
And in misunderstanding our different spaces that we are. I have been through a journey where a lot of times when I fight with my friends, I say, I just misunderstood. This is what she's tomatoes. This one is ataro.
They are two different things.
Two different things. But I'm trying to do maybe fried rice, and I'm thinking, why don't you just turn green? And I'm fighting with this friend. But really, deep down, how do we understand those relations and how useful are they to us?
I think the main enemy is ego. Many people want to impress their friends, or the target is to do better than your friends. And if you're like that, you're going to have problems. For instance, one of the things that helped my relationship, or the input that my friends have had in my life, is just understand that, we are going through the same challenges. Anything you're going through, sometimes the enemy, makes you feel you're the only one going through this, you have a special problem, and it's overwhelming at times in terms of mental health. But one day, we came to church after a conference, and we realized that some of our equipments had been stolen. You know, very hefty. I was angry. It was a lot of money. I was in the office, just kind of discouraged. What is this now? I just had that thought. Call your friend. Those are the kind of things I was talking about. He's a pastor too, you know. Yeah. So I called him. I said, Pastor, they just told something. He said, how many did they take from your side? I said, what happened? He said, they were in our own place a week ago. Just that, just liberated. Just hearing, they took keyboard here. They took keyboard, mixer. I said, thank you, Jesus. So we were laughing, you know. And that just helped my day. So the moment you there's nothing you're going maritally, financially that others haven't gone through before.
Sorry, Pastor, I'm sorry. I know ladies to come in, but I want to pump in here for a second. Because you pastors also told us that we shouldn't be sharing our problems.
We never said that. Who said that to you?
Me, I went to marriage counseling. Don't tell a third party. Even your bring reception, all the chairman.
All of us
don't bring a third party into your mind. And now we're hearing you tell us.
They told us not to keep our single friends.
Because you are telling.
They didn't tell you.
They told us. Yes, God bless you. They told us.
You made a comment about misunderstanding. I think you misunderstood the counsel. I think you have to contextualize it, okay? There's always a thought first that can damage things. And there's always a voice that can help. I think the issue is discretion. Like the church thing I mentioned now. I mean, he's a pastor. If I was egotistical, you don't want to mention anything that happened to you. You want to present a face that our church is perfect. But if that is out of the way, I can tell you that, wow, there's still some things here. And he's able to, I realize that the more vulnerable I am, the easier for the person to also be vulnerable.
The reason why I asked that question is because when you say you have male friends, because I feel like men are not talking to themselves. When they talk to themselves, they're only talking business, but they're not talking hurts, emotions, how they are feeling. Very few. They just stole this for me. I'm depressed. So and the reason why they don't probably do that is because they've told us to keep our marriage. No,
I don't think it's a marriage thing. I think it's a cultural thing. Men don't talk. Even with their wives. There is a problem with men. I pastor men, you know, and I always said, express your emotions. The culture tells you if you cry, you're a weak man, you know, and Jesus wept, you know, that kind of thing. So I think it's a cultural thing that now maybe invaded the religious space. And I think we need to change the narrative. And I'm grateful for forum like this where such things can be, you know, you can express your emotions, you can cry, you can cry. When you hold it back, you're hurting yourself.
Yes. So I remember, this story, my son, one day he was crying and then my daughter was not telling him, don't cry, be a man, be a man. I was like, hold on, don't disturb him, let him cry. That's why he has tear glands. God created the tear glands. It's not just for decoration, it's for you to use it. So
I think we need to, let people know that it's okay to express your emotion. Now, life's also about experiment. Okay, you have 2-3 friends, you relate with them. By the time you live with 3 of them, you will know which one you can lean on more. Nobody's asking you to remain close to 3 of them. Right? I mean, out of the 3, this one talks too much. I say something to this one and I'm hearing it all over the world. But this one, is more mature. This one is helpful. It's about, evaluating those relationships, but it's good to have friends.
So, for friendship to stand the test of time, it's like a symbiotic kind of. So I gain from you, you gain from me. That's how relationships are. So I want to understand, do you guys have conflicts? If you have conflicts, how do you guys resolve?
Yes, I take him on. I take him up. How do you say it? I face him straight. That he did something to me, I don't like it. And he apologizes. And the same thing.
Let's talk about apologies.
That's simple.
Yes. I mean, I think it has a lot to do with maturing and maybe we should celebrate Pastor Samademi here. Because the kind of mentor you have determines your outcome, So I think the kind of training I went, I got from him, I'm still getting the same thing from Pastor Gordon. I think helps a lot. Many people see apologizing as something, even men, I have issues with that. When I'm counseling with a woman that has been married, a couple that's married for 20 years, and the woman is telling you, my husband has never apologized to me for the last 20 years. I said, what? He's been right for 20 years.
Wow.
And I sing, there's a song I have for them, How Great Thou Art. That for 20 years you've been
No mistakes.
Abba, you are damaging somebody's life. So if in 10, 20 years somebody is thinking, I'm always wrong, you're always right, you've damaged the person. What is your joy in that? So apologizing doesn't.
Yeah, but I wanted to talk about but let me just quickly shout out to Pastor Sam Adeyemi, because I know he anointed Wuli Arole. And now the quality...
No, it wasn't him. It was Poju. Pastor Poju.
The quality of content from that guy now is so
different. Yes.
Yeah. So apologies amongst friends. Yes. Sometimes we think it's a big deal. So for some, it's a sign of weakness, and then
yes.
Say it in English.
There's apology and there's apology. Okay. So you have a friend and your friend reaches out and says, I'm like you. I don't know whether you talk as bluntly as I am. I don't know how to tell my friend that. Well, the thing where I cannot sugarcoat it. Okay, so I'm doing more damage in trying to express my thoughts to my friend. And you must respect your friend.
Oh yes.
When you're having that conversation, they must. The upbringing I have is that when you're expressing how hot you feel, try to be most honorable to the friend. At least you still show respect. Yes. The person has hurt you, but you must show respect. And then I'm going at that friend, say, I can kill the friend, I gave birth to the friend. And so maybe that will now inform the kind of apology I get. Maybe that. But sometimes when you're apologizing and your friend is apologizing, you feel that... Are you sure this come from your mind? You'll be saying, exactly. Sorry to yourself. Because the sorry is not really sorry.
If your apology is not accepted, I will tell the person, it's not accepted. You didn't really understand my pain. Now, sometimes it's seed sowing. Like I came in here, and there was a smile. I smiled and everybody smiled. So sometimes it's seed sowing. Okay, take the plunge. When I apologize to you genuinely, I am also setting you up to be able to do it when it's time. Most times people are waiting for the other person to do it first. I won't be the first person to cry. I'll be the first person to apologize. So you don't need that. And that's how also you know which kind of friends you should be. Okay. Yeah, because this one doesn't really
take apology.
So you know how to manage that. But it's okay to apologize, not just to your friend, to your spouse, to your children. It's a part of our culture that the older, the wiser. Ma'am?
If your friend is older than you, because me and YK is a very...
I've had to confront... I believe in...
who apologizes? Or how should the apology go?
She can apologize to you.
Because of age.
Oh, you set the person up. It's like in the West, when you're arresting, they will say, sir, sir, until they put you inside the car, sir, until you press the gun, sir, until So I think, I've had to confront people. I believe in crucial conversations. I think what the damage we have is when people gossip. People don't confront people holily. They talk about which creates problems.
Yes. Gosh.
This person hurt me, even as an older person. Sir, yeah, sir, it pained me when you did that. It pained me, sir. You didn't used to do that, sir. You affected me, sir.
That's a salon.
I heard that you said this, sir. Sir. It's paining me, and in fact, sir, I'm not happy, sir. And then, okay, I'm so sorry, Pastor. Okay, and then it helps. It helps.
Okay, let me let you jump in here.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you. Adi Kabasa spoke at ELC last year.
Yeah.
And he referenced his relationship with you.
Yeah.
Having transcended you being a friend and now you are his pastor.
Yeah.
And when we talk about friendship, we must also understand that people change. Their life, they become... Mariah is now our MD. Yes, she's my friend, but she's our MD. And then you have friends that have become maybe governor or friends that have become... And you must still... How do you not become a sycophant? How do you honor them but still be able to tell them the truth? And how do you balance it? Because I like what he said, but I'm thinking that it might be because you are a pastor, and so he's looking at you from the spiritual...
Okay. No, you've hit something very powerful. Nothing helps a relationship like understanding people and their seasons. People take people for granted. It's like our first daughter is 23 thereabout. Wow. So there was a time, of course, you could just call her when she was maybe 5 or 6, but now she's an adult. She can vote. She can drive, those things. So you have to respect people's seasons. So people change and transition, and if you value that, the relationship will stay. And sometimes you can have a sit down, coffee, and say, okay, what are the rules of engagement? Now you are the governor, my governor, you know, and then you have some conversation. How do you want me to relate with you? Can I tell you some home truth? How would you prefer it? You know, that kind of mature,
upfront conversation.
Yeah, if you don't do that, you can make mistakes sincerely. But that kind of conversation will help so that, okay, I would like you to call me on Fridays. I would like us, you know, to say it like this or pass it through my wife, you know, something like that. It helps. So that's...
Okay, now let's go to relationship, because I'm trying to end this friendship matter quickly, because there's a lot of juiciness in relationship. And the reason why I wanted to get into, because you said something earlier that you get tempted.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put things in phases.
Yeah.
Because somebody spoke to me a couple of days ago, and she entered this marriage with, like, when I say love, head over heels love.
Wow.
You know, when the woman is totally love.
And give her all.
She gave
you know.
everything.
Yeah.
Now he has broken her heart. Totally. And sometimes people will advise you, don't go in fully.
In case they hurt you.
Let your eyes open. Don't let that blind you. Be very crystal clear. You know. So my question is, should we still marry for love in today's times? Because the realities have changed. Economics have changed. Roles have changed. It's more the people who have transactional relationships seem to have more sense and more reality, because they are there and they understand what they are there for. That doesn't mean that there's no love, but we are clear who is doing what. Okay. When you just go there head over heels and life happens, it breaks people. So in 2025, a young woman wants to get married. What kind of advice is there still love today?
Yeah, thank you. I think it's the way we define love. Okay. For instance, I grew up with that slogan, love is blind. If love is blind, I don't think God would have shown his love to me. He can see me very well, you know. So I think it's the way we define love. We see love as being blind. Like, I have been pastoring for over 2 decades. One of the things that God will do for you is to give you signals. But when you are blind, you won't see it. So when somebody comes up to me and say, my wife or my husband just did this, it looks like out of the blues, it's a lie. I won't lie to you. Some signs would have been there that will help you make, either anticipate or confront or expect. God does that. And it's not just about relationship. In many things, you're getting a job, you know, you did interview in the place, you will see some sign whether this job is a good one or you're just deceiving yourself. So when people meet people, and that's why we have courtship, for instance.
Pastor, sorry to pause you. The reason I'm pausing, I'm cutting you because this thing you are saying, we've heard it before. You see, signs or no signs, because nobody is perfect. There will always be signs.
So when you see signs...
Yes, I mean, I will leave, they'll tell you to be resilient.
No. Did you even see the signs? I'm telling you, did you? I've had conversations with people that say, but these things happened before you got married. You didn't tell anybody. You didn't say anything. Then now it's this horrible, it now looks like, but this thing didn't start here.
And we have already bought a Shebi.
It's like our health too. It's like our health. I'm going to be 50 next year, for instance. I've heard that when you are 40, do test. Now I don't maybe do any test for 7 years. God forbid. And something just shows up. You know, and you're talking to the doctor and say, this thing just showed up. No. Maybe you should have tracked it. The way ladies respond to love is over men. We are more logical. So our advice is, in the midst of the passion and the emotion, shine your eyes. Shining your eyes is not suspecting the person. It's to help you build a better relationship. People have made mistakes, and mistakes will still happen. I think it's the continuous education, you know, that matters. That as much as you love this person, ask questions.
Let me give an example. Sorry, ladies. You meet a guy. You're dating. And he loves to spend. Everything he earns, and he spends on you. And you enjoy it. So you know that he's not the kind of guy that saves. As he's earning, he's spending because he loves life. But he loves, and you like every other thing about him. You're not getting to marriage, and you want to start saving for, and you want to buy a house, you want to buy a car.
So you want to start saving?
Because now you're a married woman, you want to. But as he's getting his salary, he's taking out to dinner, he's spending, and you are now getting frustrated that this man is spending. And they'll say, did you not see this? I saw the sign, but it wasn't enough for me to say I won't marry him.
But was there a conversation on it? That's what I'm saying. I'm not even saying you should not marry the person because you know that he gets angry. You evaluate it and still make your decision. That can I still stick with this kind of weakness.
Okay.
If you agree to stay with that, then maybe have a conversation. You can be the saver. Let him be spending. I'll be the saver. Having such conversations will reduce the level of hurt, of pain. Believe me. Believe me. Just okay. There you spend a lot.
Acknowledging the problem.
Yes. You spend a lot. Okay. Look. It's like you're a spender. Me, I'm the saver. So can we agree on this, on that? So at the end of the day, something happens and he says he doesn't have money to handle the thing. He won't like shock or shake you the way something devastates people. Right. I mean, it's like abuse, physical abuse. Most of the times when we counsel with people, the signs would have been there. It's very rare that, except you're rushed into the relationship, the marriage, either he gets angry and then throws. Someone is already throwing mug, at the wall. Maybe not at you. I don't like what's happening.
It's coming to you very soon.
That kind of thing. So instead of you have a conversation, or you're ready to dodge, like David was dodging Saul's javelin. So I feel this matter of crucial conversations, not in our culture. We like to pretend. We like to lie to ourselves. Like that thing you're saying about spending now. If you ask that lady, she won't say spending at that time. You'll be hearing, he just loves me. He can spend anything on me. It won't be defined as spending. But when Wahala starts,
I have to go on a break.
Okay.
Because you see, these things, I'm sorry that I've almost drowned the ladies today. Because when pastors tell us, when coaches, not pastors, coaches tell us, have conversations. The men are looking at it as a lecture now. Any relationship they have.
That was exactly
where I was tired. Let's have a conversation. And the men are saying, I beg.
I don't want to have a conversation.
I just want to hang out with you. We do this conversation again. Let's go on a break. Come back. When we come back, we take this further. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right
New
back.
studio, brand new set, a new face, but still your favorite breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria.
It's a fresh new energy, new vibe. You smell that?
Now that's the smell of tasty, tantalizing food from our various chefs.
And when it comes to sports updates with insightful analysis, the place you want to be is Wake Up Nigeria.
That's right. Every second there's a fresh occurrence, and every minute there's a story to tell. Keep abreast of happening locally and internationally via the news updates of Wake Up Nigeria.
It's live camera fashion, where we strut, slay, and sashay, and keep you updated with all the latest fashion trends.
Level up your morning.
Watch Wake Up Nigeria, where every morning begins with a spark.
It's downright time to speak with the Gen Z perspective.
Hey, chick on me this and they were like, this is Sharma.
Saying it not the way they want it.
Outrightly, I don't think I would budget more than 25K for a first date.
The Generation Z are ranting.
I'm 3 hours, 2 minutes after the
minus 1 year, please.
Don't show me. I don't want to see.
That's why they'll keep Gen Z, express yourself.
How long will it take for you to kiss then? Even if it's not a sexual intercourse.
The conversation just got Gen Z'd.
Do it, love. Do it to it. Do it. Do it.
Hello, TVC Communications. How can I help?
What makes TVC the right choice for my business?
Excellent question, sir. Let me share some exciting facts with you.
Start your day on TVC Entertainment with Wake Up Nigeria, a family and lifestyle show. Your view empowers women globally.
It's your view, let it count.
Entertainment Splash delivers the hottest celebrity trends. On TVC News, we keep you informed with breaking news and in-depth analysis of events shaping the world.
I will continue to speak the truth.
TVC News at 7 and TVC News at 10 p.m. delivers the most important stories of the day. Max FM, your hit music radio station, captivates listeners daily across Lagos and Abuja, making every commute more enjoyable. Adaba 88.9 FM is not left out, as it is the voice of Southwest. And on TVC Digital, we reach to million viewers daily. All together, pulls in over 17 million viewers daily. Contact us on 0707 272 8338 or marketing@tvccommunications.tv. Partner with TVC Communications today. Let's grow together.
Thanks for staying with us. You can join the conversation on 020-163-52013, 090-241-63440. You can also send us messages on X and also YouTube. We'll be happy to read your thoughts. So before the show, I was telling you about when we tell people we want to have conversation, husbands or spouses, once they hear, let's have a conversation. They freeze.
They lock up.
But even boyfriend, girlfriend, they don't want to hear. So how do we now have the conversation?
Okay, I think it's a cultural thing. Believe me, we grew up in a patriarchal system where men feel superior. And most of our fathers, raised us like that. So when you hear conversation, it looks like a challenge, and we're always poised for war. Who will win this conversation? And believe me, I admit that we have lapses in those areas as men, and it's not helping relationships, whether in the office or in the marriage. And if you're a man, male factor listening, it's a feedback for us that we need to hear our spouses better, our kids, your boss, your downline. Because nobody is fighting you. It's not everything about fight. It's not about win, lose. You can learn from anyone. My other advice is in marriage context now, each person should understand their own spouse. How is the best way to talk to this person? Yours might be different from mine. We have the sandwich method where, my husband is a gister. We're enjoying the conversation. How can I deploy this matter within the matter and then come back to the gist? There has to be some skillfulness.
No, I've tried that. So let me explain. True life story. I knew that the mood was good.
Yes.
We're already gisting.
But you don't spoil the mood.
No, I did not spoil the mood. But when I brought in that conversation, he said, but we were having fun. So why did you not bring this topic?
Exactly. God bless you.
That was the reply. He said, but we were having fun. Were we not in a good mood? Why did you decide to bring this topic up?
So now looks like you're spoiling
it look like I said, no, but I didn't say it that way. Like I just felt like since we are already discussing many things.
I think the ego thing affects us men a whole lot. We're getting better.
That's what our mothers told us. You have fun.
Through the food.
The higher
you waking up at night when you are breastfed. All the methods we've deployed is all of
it's not working.
You guys, it's not good though.
You are representing me, so we are facing you, sir.
No. The higher ground is this. I think it's still this conversation thing where you can agree on if there's something on my mind I need to pass across. Is there a room to talk at all, or is there a way you would prefer me to convey it? But the constant is there are matters either from you or from me, and it's going to mature the relationship. And we process. When you say that, it might not give you an answer immediately. But at least you drop the seed.
Okay.
So I think that would help.
I think we may need to learn that men process.
Oh yes. That things have been told at home. Even I didn't hear, but it has entered. Then for some hours or even days.
1 second. Ade is on the phone. He's been waiting for a while. Good morning, Ade from Maryland. Go ahead, please. Ade, thanks for calling. I think we lost that call. Ramatu.
Okay, so I wanted to say that, but they take a long time to process it. It takes a long time.
Are you there? Ade?
You are talking about...
I can't
hear her.
They need
to increase the volume.
Okay.
Can you hear her? I can't.
Hello?
I can't hear her. Go ahead, Ramatu.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I was like, it takes a long time to process all of these things. And before you were saying that we're supposed to know all of these things during courtship before we get married. You know that there are new behaviors that they bring up in the marriage. In fact, every week there's a new behavior.
Are you sure you guys also bring, you ladies also bring behavior?
It's true though. Abinima. Every new week, new behavior. So we are always, we are not computers.
From my own constituency as a pastor, I also encourage ladies to pray for their men. I mean, it's just... Hey, wait, before you have
because that one, Mariah,
no, we should pray for our ladies.
I agree with you.
No, because it's like when you're working in a place. I realize, like an entrepreneur, if you're working with someone, the difference is in somebody trying to think about how everybody will be paid, getting the clients, all those things. It's not the same as you that in quote, you just work and receive your salary. So sometimes men overthink, we overcarry things. We just assume we're carrying the entire world. And that overwhelming processing is what affects some behaviors you see happen, the way we process things, like the competition thing.
I totally agree with you. Based on experience,
yes.
The battles that I fought in my marriages are those that I didn't win, are the ones I didn't pray about. And so it was tough at one point, and my mom says, hey, Shebi, you can't do everything. You can do it all by yourself, and you have refused to pray. It was just out of the blue. I didn't talk to her about, and she just called it, that's why everybody's just, you will not pray about it. And since then, even to ask for money for soup, we pray. because I don't want to be met with...
Like the competition thing now, I know you ladies, you do, but I think for men it's different.
Competition, okay.
Yeah, and the way a man's day goes, it will amaze you. Like the financial matters, the competition that happened that day. You didn't know, just, maybe one of his friends called him, or he saw something, or the boss, or promotion didn't happen, it now comes home.
Let me take this call, sir, because we have very little time. We're trying to squeeze in so many things for you. Going in from Ikeja, thanks for calling. You're live.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Go ahead.
Good morning, Pastor. Can you hear me?
Can you guys hear her?
Yeah.
Please increase the volume, please. Go ahead.
Thank you. I wanted to say that why is it that it's only women that we're always setting place for conversation in the relationship? It's become something with us. Why are men not saying, let us have a conversation? If that has made us look somewhat of a troublesome person. They are saying conversation is the bedrock of every relationship. And so we always do it for mood. After was saying just now that, okay, the man has gone for business and all of that. We also go to work. We also have kids that children, we have all of that. And men will not come and say, this lady has gone through something. How do you want it to work? Every time I want to say, okay, let us, I will say, okay, at the end of every month, what do you think I should do better? All this kind of nice conversation.
Thank you, Jerry.
What makes you happy and all of that.
Thank you,
Pastor. You talk too much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and you are correct. But women are more
soft.
Not even soft, expressive. There's a word they use. They have verbal power. Men have muscular power in that sense. So in that context, women talk more generally, by nature, by But I wasn't even saying that men shouldn't. I do that at home. No, it was because of our conversation that something is coming up. Okay, you have to have a conversation. If it was the other way around, I would tell the men have a conversation, and I also teach them how to have the conversation in terms of you don't just start shouting at your woman or the conversation that goes in such a way that you're always blaming the person. This communication thing is a whole industry on its own, teaching and training people on how to converse, and we don't have it here. We don't have it in our schools. We don't have it,
I have a question.
Yes.
So I feel that a lot of times women are bigger on self-development and emotional intelligence trainings that we have to go through. And we do not have enough conferences and platforms that encourages and trains men. On Sundays you hear it, but when we are calling for men's conference, I think that our leaders, because they don't show up, you have to find a way to sandwich it in a way that would bring them in, because marriages are under major attack. People are getting divorced at a rate that, our women used to manage, but our women nowadays are not managing anymore. So if we want marriages to last long, then we need to equip our men better. Since it doesn't come, the family system does not equip them from the home to have that level of emotional intelligence to manage a home properly.
I mean, I must celebrate the female folks for that. I mean, look at Super Falcons, look at Super Eagles. I'm sorry, I'm bringing it up. And, on Saturday night, I was preparing for service, and my daughter, we have 4 daughters. So, I understand.
Wow.
And she came, one of our daughters said, Daddy, the score's 2-2. I said, well, we're going to win this match, and I was preparing for service. And when we won the match, for me, it's a big win. And I think it's also a good sign for Nigeria, in the midst of the pain and all those things people are going through, that we can have this kind of win and ride upon it. And I think the men would have loads of lessons to learn if they want to live a better life. you know, when people die, I see more men passing out, you know, than women. And I think the men needs to learn that life is not as difficult as you are taking it. And there's this thing that we need to agree on as men, if you're watching, that your woman wants you successful, wants everything to work out. I mean, she might not be a perfect woman. I'm going to pray for people in the hospital, men, you know, when I pray for men. And I'm always finding their mother or their wife, you know. As where are the other guys that you are, you
hanging
know,
out
now those things that you're doing, where are they?
Where are they?
This is your, should I say, your greatest asset. So why not, like, invest in it, give them time, love them, and if any demon is chasing us, let them cast it out.
Let me take this call. Steve is calling from Abuja. Thanks, Steve. You're live.
Good morning.
Go ahead,
My name is Steven.
Yes, Steven.
Calling from Abuja. I really enjoyed this topic. I want to thank Pastor Yemi Davis. And one of the things I want to say about marriage is that marriage does not have manuscripts. You know, I want to talk as a Christian now. When you want to get married to a woman, you know, one of the things that you notice that is skin that you talked about and all of that. Because there are some things that come out of marriages after people are married that they didn't even bargain for and all of that. There are some things that, you know, there are some characters that are showing up after you are married and all of that, because both of you are coming from different background, different orientation and all of that. So one of the things that we help individuals, how to tolerate one another, how to forgive easily. Like me as a man, I've never, you know, kept married with anybody, you know, all my life. I'm 50 years old by the grace of God. I've never kept married. You know, I would have two scripture. When the Bible talk about woman, I saw it in weaker vessel. So your prayer may not be hindered. You know, I would have stood that part very better. When you are not in unison with your wife, then you have a lot of things in your life as a man. But most of your finance, your peace, and all of that. I mean, I've been enjoying peace. It doesn't mean that I don't have argument with my wife, but I will be able to. I reported my wife to anybody over 10 years that we are married. Because when I met my wife, one thing that God told me that, see, be a better person to yourself. So when you be a better person to yourself, your wife will follow suit. Not that my wife, not that they are perfect, but I will be able to enjoy marriage. You know, marriage is beautiful, but it depends on the cutlery that you use. I'm telling you.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Thank you. Pastor Davis, there's something that happened on Saturday to me I'd like to share with you.
Yes.
So I was in a car accident recently, and I wanted to, my back was hurting me, so I wanted to walk around. So Saturday morning, I decided to take a walk with my husband and my son. So usually we walk within our small estate, it's just a small street. But my son said, Mommy, I'd like us to walk outside the estate. So because of that, so my husband was with us. He said, no, let's walk within the estate. Yes. I said, well, my son says, let's go. I mean, I agree with my son. Let's go outside the estate. And he kept saying, no, don't stay. You know, he was really insisting. And I said, I hear you, but let's go outside. So I followed, we went outside. And then when we got outside, Tokwe's husband drove past and wound down and greeted me. I'm right ahead about there. I said, see, that's what you want. You want everybody to be greeting you about the accident. You want the whole world to be greeting. I said, that was not the intention. I just wanted to walk. And I'm thinking, how is that disobedience? You have given me an opinion, an idea. Okay. And I say, I will walk outside. How is that disobedience? So the point I'm trying to make is that some men, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's ego. What you are saying is
they didn't hear you. It's something else.
And I know it's like an issue between now, I'm a man, you know, and the weakness, maybe it's a weakness or the way I'm wired, you know, the way it is now is like between him and your son. And it's like you picked your son. That is.
Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you.
I also do that. I have 4 daughters. Sometimes when my wife says something and our daughter says something and I pick on my daughter, it looks like, oh.
Because you like your daughter. So you are seeing it differently.
Yeah. and that's what I wanted to say, especially in marriage, in marital context, differences. If we understand our differences, we anticipate behavior and even mistakes. Differences. We have to agree that we are different. The way a man is wired is not the same as we are competitive. We want to win, and it's that same win that makes us build things anyway. So just has a downside.
How long will men have this idea? Because now we're in our 40s. Me, I'm no longer I never really was. Maybe I tried to disguise it, a submissive kind of wife. I have my thought process. Yes. And I only respect people who think I have it. To assume that I can tell you what to do and you do it and it's a mistake.
I don't even believe a man should
But in marriages, for you to, they'll tell us at your wedding, as one of the advices, be a sheep. If you marry lion, you be a sheep. We're not sheep. So now, we are now adults. We are midlife, and you are still giving me instructions. Where will you realize that you need to now, that conversation, that lecture, that talk you don't want to talk, is my way of life. That you must talk to me, not talk at me or instruct.
Yeah, but you agree that on this table now, you have a leader, right?
Yes.
And there are things that happen that she would say, what do you guys think, right? You agree? And then you put your, and there are some things that she will just say, this. Does it make her, you understand?
Okay,
you understand? So it depends.
If she says you should take a break,
you can't say no, can't take a break. No, she's your leader. So in relationships, we have to agree. I mean, there are times when, okay, let's agree on these things, but there are some areas where somebody has to say, okay, we're going to London for Christmas, or we're going to the village for Christmas, you know. And there are times when, if you as a woman don't think that's the best idea, I encourage you to also pray about it, or also find a way of.
But even if you dissent, because something happened over 2 weeks, these 2 weeks. My kids had to go to the Airbnb to stay with my relative, my husband's side of the family. Everybody was lounging. They rented the place. And I said, I don't want to be there. I'd rather be home alone.
Yes.
But I respect you. I'll take the kids with you. So I took the kids and I stayed home alone, and he could not process it. I just, you know, it's not any disrespect. There was a fight.
Because I mean,
there was an accusation, sir, that you know
you don't want to be there.
You don't want to be because it's my family. If it was your family,
see, when a man reacts, there's a string. Like you'd be surprised that I say.
Because when I go to my family, I don't drag my husband, but I feel comfortable.
So when it comes to his own family, for instance, it's a bit sensitive, and I don't know what happened the previous episodes. So your reaction now is not just on that matter. I'm sure there are 2 or 3 things.
Your own relationship is colored.
Yes. Okay. Why is that when you call my family, you want to stay home?
We have to wrap up soon.
I need to. No, you cannot do that. Okay. So, geez, we've spoken a lot about the nuances, the things that are influencing what we do that we're not conscious of. And it reminded me of something. I want to quickly share this before I ask you the question about. There was a little argument that broke out on Saturday at a party, and it was because they called the younger before the older one in a Yoruba family to dance, and she said, "I'm not going to," and it became drama until, funny enough, it was a pastor. One of the pastors came out and said, "Why are you trying to beg her that she's single? She's not reacting to the fact that they did not call her. She's reacting to the fact that they called my younger sister because she's married." There are many things happening that we're not seeing. So sometimes we're looking at, when you said that thing about the son, it was like light bulb. We're not seeing it, but there are small things that are nanosecond triggers in the mind of the person we are responding to. So we need to give grace and do a lot of prayer. Now, my question to you, sir, you mentioned temptation earlier. And it seems that, like, as our men get richer, because now, before I don't even bother with my husband, but now my husband is going to the gym. He's now looking very, very gege, and there's more money now. I'm like, okay, temptations will come, and people would, it's not even the temptation, they will want to tempt you because they feel like you have what we want. And I don't think that he can discuss temptation with me. I've tried and tried and tried, it's not working. So how can we advise men? How can men deal with temptation outside?
Yeah, I mean, coincidentally in our church this month, we are studying the life of Joseph. And that's a classic template anybody can follow. And the truth is, for a man, that thing you are toying with, if you are toying with it anyway, it doesn't have a future in it. If Joseph can escape that, then you should be able to escape it in terms of, you don't say I don't have any option. It was very tight for Joseph because he was the boss's wife. Like, it looks like an opportunity, but he was able to discern. And I tell men clearly that what is behind 7, how do you say it in Yoruba? What is behind is much more than that. And I'm hoping that men here can always be in the right forum or fora where the realities of these things are told them, because what is at stake is much more.
Sir, let me pause you for a second. I'm sorry about that. Let me jump in there. A man will tell you, I love my wife. I see her as the mother of my children. I don't, but that the erotic part of me no longer awakens towards her, because I see her as the mother of my children. So you can't force me to be emotionally attached to somebody else when my secretary or somebody else gives me that attraction. So I am a biology, I'm a human being. My body is not more moved. My body is not more moved by the mother of my children. My body is not more moved by brother. You can't force it.
Ma'am, it depends on the value system. If somebody's value system is warped, what can I do about it? But I want to live long. I want to live well. And I say this categorically, that if a woman is in your life, one of your aims should be to be a blessing to her. That's my thinking. When you get married, if you notice, the father picks the daughter and then hands over this person to you. Like, okay, you're not the new father. You're not the new person. My thinking is, I want to do better than her father. 10 years, 40 years. But somebody else's value system is not like that. Then whatever comes out of it, you face it yourself. But value system. But if your value system is not helpful, you will pay the price in the future. I want to be a blessing to her. I want to be a blessing to her. And I'm not even looking at what she should do for me in that sense. I want to be a blessing to her. I want her dad to come and visit 10 years, 15 years, and either say it or you're doing a better job. It's clear. Self-centeredness is the problem of relationships. When you always look at things from your own perspective alone.
I don't want that.
You know, but okay, you want your secretary, that's what you want. But how does it affect this woman? You're married. But if you're self-centered, that means you don't even care how that decision affects her. What if she says, okay, she's mother of children, but there's a neighbor that she likes too? How will you react?
No, women are supposed to.
No, because even when I talk to pastors, I say, pastors, when you're leading a church, put yourself in the shoes of the congregation. Congregation, put yourself in the shoes of the pastor. So if as a pastor I'm preaching now, I'm teaching for 4 hours. Can you choose standard that you see that somebody talking? Put yourself, husband, put yourself in the shoes of your wife. Wife, no matter what's happening, put yourself in the shoes of your husband. If we can agree on that today, maybe our response to things will be different. Like, okay, if I was the husband too, and my wife talks to me like that, it's not the best. Or if I'm the wife
time is fast
and this person, you know, I think that...
I really wanted to touch on the fact that you recently became the chairman of the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, Lagos chapter. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How is that going?
It's a lot of work, but it's I believe in collaboration, you know. Just like I mentioned about the hand and the legs, it takes different parts for the body to function well. So the PFN in Lagos is more like the body of Christ coming together to do things. I mean, the recent Benue killings, I just announced to churches, let's put things together and be a blessing to Benue State. And I was impressed by the response. Like if one church is trying to do it, you know, we went with like 60 tons of relief materials. That's a lot, 4 trucks. Different churches.
Well, as the chairman, how do you plan to reconcile the Gen Zs? Because many of them, their responses to prescriptures or this, they criticize everything. You say something and they are poking and they are criticizing pastors. How we used to see the word before, they don't see it like that. So, as a Pentecostal chairman, what task is ahead in trying to reconcile this generation to the church?
We have to agree that that's the future. I respect and love the Gen Zs a lot, but they're not like us, and it's okay. It's just for you to understand the terrain they're in and the realities. We didn't grow up with the Wi-Fi, so they have access to information. So if you understand that, that means you can't just dump things. When we're growing up, when somebody else says something, okay, amen. But here, when somebody says something, they can, while you're saying it, they are checking it. So you understand that, that means your communication should be different, maybe more detailed and sensible. So I think, and that's what we're doing with the youth wing of the PFN, where engaging them better. I love younger people. I believe they're the future of our nation, and I believe engaging them, respecting them, and then finding ways to allow them receive wisdom, because that's another thing they also need to learn, that you are Gen Z today, one day you'll be married, and then you understand that you are going there, that we too were young before, so that mutual, like the example you gave broadcast when, like David and Saul thing, where Saul loved David, he wanted him to bring down Goliath, but he now gave him his own armor. And the older people need to understand that as sincere as you can be, your method will most likely not work for them. And I love the way David now came and said, this thing cannot work for me. And I love the way Saul said, oh, Sorry. So the challenge you're having now is people now trying to say, you must use this armor. This was what I was using to do all the battles. So you too, that's the problem we're having. So the older people need to understand that the methods that work for you would most likely not work for the younger people. I know you are sincere, you want them to succeed in life, right? To make it, but what helps you to succeed most likely will not be the way they will do it. So understand that. Allow them to use their sling and the stone. Fantastic. You know, while you're also giving them opportunities.
Thank you. They're commending Pastor. He said words on marble. Self-centeredness is why the word is, you know, self-centeredness is the enemy of relationships. And another one says, Carl Michael says, ego is the number one. So they are quoting Pastor David today. The third one. So thank you, Pastor, for your philanthropy and help towards the needy in Benin. God bless you sincerely.
Someone said, ask him about Exodus 21:10.
What is inside it? Maybe, I mean, when you're interpreting scriptures, the understanding of the process, the Old Testament, then the New Testament. Sometimes people just pick out a verse out of context. For instance, before Jesus died and rose again, everything was different post-resurrection. So when it's some things, maybe in the book of Leviticus, all those places, the interpretation is not the same as the Pauline epistles to the Gentiles that were not in the Jewish nation, those kind of things. So
okay, we have to wrap up with you.
Yes, ma'am.
Pastor. So you're telling me in this entire world, there's no woman that can tempt you?
I didn't say that.
He said so.
I said it tempts me.
He said temptation.
Is that what I said? I said I'm tempted. I call Pastor Godman.
So give us an idea the kind of thing that tempts you.
Why do you want to do that?
So that we can prevent them.
See, every man must agree that your wife is not the most beautiful woman. And every woman must also agree that your husband is not the most responsible woman.
That's not what they told us. Because they are changing everything.
No.
That's the most beautiful woman
in the eye.
No, I agree.
In the eye of the beholder.
Those capable of transferring information can also transfer error. So our life is about progress. Sometimes some things you learned 20 years ago, you need to unlearn or, you know. So
because you see, the reason, because before you became a Christian, before you became tongue speaking,
yes, ma'am.
There was a life of Pastor Yemi back then, like a Yemi kind of guy, Yemi. So now, because now Yemi is not a pastor, he's now Pastor David. Yes. So he has his wife. Yes. So if that woman that was in Yemi's life in the days, so that kind of woman now shows up.
You still meet them. So what I tell leaders or pastors is, you know the kind of person that tempts you. Everybody knows their model. Even the woman will know. You know the kind of man that if I talk to this man too much, I'll misbehave. That's why you run away.
Even when we are, say know thyself.
So it's not every man that can tempt you, Mariah. It's not every woman that can tempt me. But there's a model. You all have everybody. You have so when you know, like a lady was to be employed in our church. She was qualified generally, but it wasn't going to work out because this model is not good for me. Because you work close to me. So and that's the fleeing thing. You know what you will not eat, don't put it close to you.
Knowing yourself.
And there's some people that even if you stay with them in the house for 27 years, nothing will happen. Know thyself.
Thank you. I think we can end with that. Thank you very much, Pastor David. That's all we can take on today's show. Hope you learned a few things as we have. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.